Good afternoon, it's Monday, September 1st, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon, RISIEC hands over certificate of return to winners of Saturday's local government elections. FCT Minister defends Rivers local government polls, says no violence for first time. Federal government denies empowering bandits. Finnish court sentences Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism. On the foreign scene, more than 600 killed in Afghanistan quake. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, the winners of Saturday's local government election have received their certificate of return from the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISIEC. They received their certificates this morning at the RISIEC office in Port Harcourt. Earlier, while addressing chairman-elects, vice-chairman-elects and councillors, the RISIEC chairman, Dr. Michael Ode, called on newly elected officials to lead with unity, transparency and respect for the law. Ode also urged aggrieved candidates from the just concluded local government elections to seek redress through proper channels.
These certificates of return are not only trophies of triumph, they are mandates for service to our newly elected chairman and councillors, governing with humility, transparency and fidelity to the law. The leaders of all, supporters and non-supporters alike. The winner takes it all politics has no place in local governance. Candidates who will feel aggrieved, the law provides channels for redress.
Yesterday on Saturday, the APC in Rivers State swept the polls, winning in 20 local government areas, while the PDP got 3 local government areas. Now, let's give you a rundown of the other winners. Abba Odwa had Ofori Owolobi. Ahole West elected Eugene Ebele Chita. George Onengi Ofori was declared winner in Asaretoro, while Anthony elected Otuo Lucky Promise. Purple Blessing Abia was elected chairman in Boni. Michael John Williams in Degema. Omarilomate Alale Olo was elected in Eleme, while Chidi Lloyd got the nod in Emoha. Other winners include Njoko Boniface Chima in Eche, Deco in Yema Confidence John in Gokana, Wobodo Charles in Ikwere, and Thomas Mariere in Kana. In Oba Ebemandoni, Chukwu Shedrack Obohu was elected chairman. Ogubolo elected Vincent Nemiebuka, and Okreka had Akoro Alfred Tobing, while Omoma elected Obasi Uchechukwu. And finally, James A. James was elected in Obobonkoro. Oyibo had Okechukwu Akara Mwogo, and Tai had Obe Mbabone. Correspondent to Bureau reports that both APC and PDP shared the 319 councillor seats declared by RISIEC commissioners in charge of the various local government areas. In the meantime, the FCT Minister Wike has defended the decision to hold local government elections in Rivers State despite the declaration of a state of emergency in the state. Speaking at a media parley this morning, Wike explained that failing to conduct the elections would have triggered a crisis in the state.
Remember, the president did not declare emergency rule in the local government. It was the Supreme Court that set aside the election. Also remember that because of this emergency rule, that the states were able to access funds from the federation account. Now, if this election is not conducted, and then the governor comes in, the state legislature comes in that case, how would local government access funds? How would the civil servant be paid? What would then be the fate of the grassroots level? You have crisis.
The FCT minister also responded to the criticism surrounding the appointment of a non-Rivers indigent to head the state electoral commission, RISIEC.
What is indigenship? Who will they appoint in Rivers State now to be the chairman of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission? That you will not say that is biased, that are attached to this group or that group. No, tell me, you want to bring St. Atedo aside to be the chairman. Who will you bring? There's no link to Wike. Or is not linked to this person. Now the president is wisdom to make sure at least we should have people who are a bit independent. Okay, chairman, let me go outside. Somebody who's not attached to anybody in the state. Why not say who will do the work? What is the controversy? Somebody from the south?
Mika also responded to questions about the alliance between the PDP and the APC in the local government elections. He said he can only influence what's going on in his local government area.
I've determined now in my own local government. I'm a member of PDP. I won in my local government. I never said here that my local government is APC. I never said so. You always say, Wike cannot influence what happens in other local government. He can only influence what happens in his own local government. And I have agreed to that. And I have influenced, campaigned for my people. Vote for PDP. Now you are angry that APC won in the local government, which means why did I not extend the influence I didn't have?
In the meantime, the Chief Executive Officer of TAF Africa, Jake Ebele, has faulted the conduct of the August 30, 2025 local government elections, describing them as a democratic scam. Ebele explained that the exercise was totally unconstitutional, having been conducted by a government that was democratically elected. He also stated that the figures did not accurately represent what actually occurred during the exercise. Ebele also warned that the elections were a looming constitutional crisis in the state as they would be challenged in court.
Election was totally illegal, unconstitutional. Everything about organization of the election looked to me very unprepared. Today, we can say that democracy has spoken. It did speak loudly, but silently, because the people silenced the voice of undemocratic people. Very scanty, one of the worst local government elections that I've ever seen.
Still to come, federal government denies empowering bandits. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The federal government has dismissed the allegation made by a former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, that it empowers bandits as a policy. In a statement by the Office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, today, Monday, it described the allegation as baseless, adding that the ONSA does not coordinate a policy of payment and incentives to bandits. It explained that from inception, the government adopted a dual strategy: decisive kinetic operations and community engagement aimed at addressing local grievances. It said the effort of our gallant military and security agencies in capturing or eliminating notorious bandits have been widely reported in the media. The ONSA said it was unfair and insulting to the memories of our security personnel for El-Rufai to deny the sacrifices made by the military. Well, in an interview on Sunday, El-Rufai alleged that the federal government is paying bandits to dissuade them from killing Nigerians. He criticized what he described as a misguided, non-kinetic approach to insecurity, alleging that officials are paying and feeding bandits rather than eliminating them. And now the Päijät-Häme District Court in Finland has sentenced a pro-Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison for terrorism offenses. The court found Ekpa guilty of inciting terrorism and participating in the activities of a terrorist group. The 40-year-old former municipal politician from Lahti was convicted of multiple charges, including participation in the activities of a terrorist organization, incitement to commit crimes for terrorist purposes, aggravated tax fraud, and violations of the Lawyers Act. The court ordered that Ekpa remains in custody. According to the judgment, between August 2021 and November 2024, Ekpa attempted to promote the independence of the so-called Biafra region in southeastern Nigeria through illegal means. Now, back here in River State, a deal has been reached between the family of the late Happiness Edet and the driver accused of killing her and her 4-year-old daughter. Happiness's fiancé, Igwe Azemola, who spoke to a correspondent, said the agreement was reached after police in Choba intervened. The suspect's lawyer, who had initially offered a 1.2 million naira settlement, raised it to 4 million naira. Azemola commended the police for their role in brokering peace.
We have settled everything according to her. Choba DPO made the matter to be solved. He tried enough. I saw him in his room to make sure that the matter will be solved. Choba Division Police and try very well to make sure they do everything in order.
Recall that Happiness and her daughter Precious were killed nearly 2 weeks ago at Rumosinia's Splendor restaurant when they were hit by a speeding Venza. The driver fled the scene but was later apprehended after bloodstains were discovered on his car. To legislative matters. The House of Representatives today denied an alleged plot against the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, over delays in constituency project funding, describing the claims as misleading and based on informal conversations taken out of context. In a statement by a spokesman, Akin Rotimi Jr., the House faulted a media report which suggested that discontent over unpaid constituency project was threatening to trigger a showdown against the Speaker. Rotimi fumed that the report elevates isolated remarks and informal conversations from House WhatsApp groups as if they represent the official position of any House caucus or the House itself. And now in business, the federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has threatened to disconnect power generating companies from the national grid if they fail to implement the free governor control across their generating units. In power generation, a governor is a control system that regulates the speed or output of a turbine or generator. Its primary function is to maintain a stable speed or frequency. The order signed on August 26 by the Commission's Vice Chairman, Musiliu Osini, and the Commissioner, Legal Licensing and Compliance, Dafe Akmeneye, will take effect today. NERC ordered that any GenCo that fails to comply with the integration and activation of FGC on all generating units by November 30, 2025 will be liable to a penalty of a prorated 10% of the invoice associated with a defaulting generating unit, and any generating unit that records 90 consecutive days of FGC non-compliance shall be disconnected from the grid. And now the Minister of Foreign Affairs has publicly acknowledged the ongoing financial and operational challenges facing several Nigerian diplomatic and consular missions abroad, citing budgetary constraints and foreign exchange policy shifts as key contributing factors. In a statement issued today, Monday, and signed by Ministry spokesperson Kimiebi Ebienfa, the ministry admitted that the financial strain has disrupted the smooth running of missions, including delays in paying locally recruited staff, service providers, rent and allowances for home-based officers, while noting that these missions are not exempt from the broader economic realities affecting Nigeria. The ministry assured Nigerians both at home and abroad that the welfare of diplomatic staff and their families remain a priority for the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In entertainment, Nigerian rapper Odumodu Black has accused the organizers of Headies Awards of refusing to deliver on a promise to give him a car. Taking to his ex-handle, Odumodu claimed he had only just remembered that he had not received his car and asked the organizers where it was. In sport, Liverpool have agreed a British transfer record fee of £125 million to sign striker Alexander Isak from Newcastle United. On the international scene, more than 600 people have died after a magnitude 6.0 earthquake hit eastern Afghanistan. The Taliban Interior Ministry made this known. The quake struck at a shallow depth of 8 kilometers, which can